Good morning, designers. We are here today at room 421 where VCU's fashion design scene happens, as well as where the CPC was created by former co-presidents and VCU alumni Michael Robinson and Deja Willis, and as well as myself, Rebecca Washington. We created this organization to provide a platform for last year's senior designers. You guys approximately have 24 hours left before your designs debut, and we can't wait to see what you guys have created so far.
This is the classroom.
See, I was thinking about doing a skirt out of the same material, and then maybe like distressing it so you can like see the pants if they're the same, and then get the skirt effective. Because the tops are kind of like see-through. I want to go for like a little post-apocalyptic vibe. I just know that this position means traces. This means traces. That's all I know.
How are we doing today?
I'm doing good. How are you?
Alright, I'm doing good. So to start, what are some of your favorite designers and artists that you're inspired by?
Right now, I would say Kanye is the leading one for current times. From back in the day, I really like Vivienne Westwood's work. I think she paved the way.
Can you explain a little bit about Vivienne Westwood?
Yeah, Vivienne Westwood, she kind of started in the punk fashion era and really was good for women. She, wore reckless clothes and had people running see-through tops down the street on the subway. So it was a very impactful time, and I'm inspired by that.
Are we going to be seeing some of those elements inspired in your work?
I hope to eventually incorporate some of that in my work. Maybe try to make that more male aspect because I'm not a girl. So crotchless pants would be my attempt to like make a bold statement like Vivienne Westwood did.
What would you say some of your favorite designers and artists are that inspire you?
I would say recently I've been inspired by this girl, Julia Silver, and she does a lot of unconventional work, and also an older artist would be Keziah Yamamoto. He worked a lot with David Bowie, Ziggy Stardust.
Are we going to be seeing any type of inspiration from these artists in your work?
Not really, maybe a little inspo from the more unconventional side of like Julia Silver, but really it's just experimental today.
I already used it. Is that what the skirt's made of? It's partially. It's made out of the floral upholstery and then that also.
How do you and Beth, how do you balance like school and work and drag?
Quitting.
How are you doing today?
I'm doing quite well.
What are some designers and artists that you're inspired by?
I would say for one is like BlueCatHouse. She's one of my tops. Just everything she does is like excellence and fabulousness and like over the top. I really love the queer element of what the blondes do. Heatherette's is another one, and then Manino is like my mainstream fashion, I would say, that I really enjoy.
Out of all three that you listed, which one would you say whose elements are going to be playing into your designs today?
Probably mostly BlueCatHouse or the blondes.
Alright, so to start off, what are some of your favorite designers or artists that you're inspired by?
Designers wise, Vivienne Westwood, Alexander McQueen, Mugler. Artist wise, I fucking love Lady Gaga so much. I love her so much. She's like my favorite person ever.
Do you view Lady Gaga as an artist and not just a musical?
Oh, absolutely. She's a performance artist. Especially in her earlier career when she was doing all the wacky stuff. She describes it early in her career as the art of fame, which I think is a really interesting concept. And I think one of my favorite things about her is the authenticity and bringing that into pop culture. And she's very fashionable.
What are some designers and artists that you're inspired by?
I don't know that many designers. Some that I can list that I'm inspired by. I really like there's brands that I follow on Instagram. There is INSX Archive, and they make a lot of really cool layered clothing. And it's just one person designing the whole brand. I also like old rig brands like Kick and gear and like Mac gear and Trip NYC and things like that.
What are some designers and artists that you're inspired by?
Being in a season where I kind of, because I'm taking a gap year, have to be in charge of my own education, I kind of challenge myself to try and find people like all the time. One artist that I've recently been into, his name is Jeremy Snell. He's a travel photographer and he is really great. He found this fishing community in Ghana because it's a huge fishing community, but they're going extinct. And he just studied them for a couple of months, I think, or weeks. I feel like it was very close to my heart because that's what I'm about, like finding small, intimate communities, small, intimate kinds of human connection and kind of just introducing that to other people who wouldn't have otherwise seen it.
What materials are we working with today?
Today I'm using this tweed fabric, and then I also have this fabric right here. I have this in a lot of different colors. I honestly don't know exactly what this is called, but I have a lot of it. Going for a very heavy distressed look and post-apocalyptic look.
What materials are we using today?
I'm using upholstery fabric, curtain tassels. I'm crocheting a lot, using lace, like napkins, and just like a bunch of like curtain stuff.
Can you explain a bit of why you chose the curtains?
I don't know. Like normally I'm such a bold color choice designer, and I'll do like some like obnoxious like a neon green that's like nasty and gross, but like it turns out like so cool. But like I saw these like upholstery like fabrics, and I was like, wow, these like brown florals are really nice, which is really funny because I thought one of mine was a brown floral, but it turns out to be like a bunch of monkeys and trees. And I was like, I thought this was a floral.
So what kind of materials are we using today?
I'm using all the materials that I got from Scrap RVA and really just seeing how I can work with them and what I can make with them.
Your way of designing is more so experimental?
Yeah, I would definitely say experimental just because I haven't had the full design learning experience, so I'm really teaching myself a lot. I just kind of take what I can find and see what I can make with it.
So what materials are we working with today?
Bed sheets, a bunch of yellow bed sheets that I had in my closet. We went to Scrap yesterday and I got a bunch of stuff for a whole other different project, and I worked on it all night and nothing was working how it should, so I just started over with a completely new project this morning. I knew I had all these bed sheets in the closet. My favorite color is yellow, so I have just like a lot of yellow home stuff. There's a lot of fabric and there's elastics in there, so we're doing that.
Your favorite color is yellow?
Mm-hmm.
If you could name this shade of yellow that you're using today, what would you name it?
I'm gonna say Daisy, because I feel like the dress is giving very like Vivienne Westwood meets Princess Daisy from Mario.
So what materials are we working with today?
So I am working with like a burlap cotton blend. It's not on the table unfortunately, but like a more heavyweight, like I said, burlap fabric for the clothing itself. And then I'm kind of incorporating some unconventional items, so straw hats, crinkled paper, just different things, experimenting and trying new things. Yeah.
It's your first time experimenting, or?
No, when I was in high school, I used to play around a lot with unconventional materials. I would like take canvas like from like my paintings and stuff, and I would spray paint them or paint on them and make clothes out of it. I made an evening gown completely out of paper and cardboard when I was in high school. So yeah, but this is my first time doing it in such a short time frame. So
what other materials are you going to be working with?
I bought some lace that I'm hoping to work with, and like I want to add details by sewing on buttons and different things like that. I have like buttons, beads, and like different clips that I want to add for like different ways to attach the materials and fabrics. So yeah, I think the buttons I'm mainly going to use just to accessorize, but I have these like, I don't know how to describe them, but they're these sorts of like clips or like buttons that you can like hammer into the clothes and then like attach them to.
Do we have any sketches to show today, or are we just moving from through our head off the dome?
Yeah, definitely from the head to the sewing machine, really, just because I cannot sketch, really. It's not good.
Do you want to learn how to sketch?
Yeah, definitely. I feel like that's a good skill to have as a designer.
Do you usually just go straight from your head to the fabric?
Yeah, sometimes I will try to do some sketches, but I feel like my vision will usually change so much from the start to finish that I usually don't.
Do you have any sketches, or is this like off the dome?
Everything today was off the dome. I sourced all my material yesterday and just figured out what I could make out of it. So everything's off the dome.
Is it usually off the dome, or do we have any other prep work?
Sometimes I draw, sometimes I don't. I get drawing just to get more like silhouette ideas, but usually it's just with the material I have, I just figure it out from there.
So do you have any sketches, or is this all off the dome today?
It's all off the dome. Whenever I make anything for my body or for myself, or if I'm just sewing it, I don't draw it. If it's for somebody else to do, I have to draw.
Right? Do you have any sketches, or is this all off the dome?
I have sketches at at home that I actually didn't bring today because today I'm just kind of like fixing up the seams and doing like little details that I don't really need my sketches for. But I've moved away from the original design quite a bit just because I don't have as much of the material as I thought I did. So it's mostly off the dome now.
Do you find yourself always veering off from the original sketch, original idea?
Yeah, I think just once I start the project, I always run into different kinds of problems and things like that. So normally the original design I have or the original idea is just like I either don't have enough time to like complete the original idea I had, or I realize that it's not going to work that way and I just like change it up along the way.
Do you have any problems with that, or do you feel any type of way when you're not able to like originally like go with what you first drew?
I think sometimes it can be a little bit frustrating when I'm not able to complete the design that I originally had in mind, because I have like an expectation for myself to like make that piece of clothing. Like this project, I wanted to do a lot more with it and like crochet, and I'm realizing that with the amount of time I have, that's probably not likely. But a lot of the time, new things can come out of like straying away from the original design, and you can be surprised with like what new things you can come up with and stuff like that. So it's a mix of both. I wouldn't say I'm a big disappointment.
So do we have any sketches today, or is this all off the dome?
It's all kind of off the dome. I definitely went into yesterday with an idea, but in a good way. I didn't find anything that supplemented that, so I just kind of started grabbing stuff and going from there. So
do we usually do stuff off the dome, or do we have like initial sketches, any processes that you go through?
Sketching's definitely a huge part of my process. It's become more intensive of like, because a lot of the times when I'm doing designs, I like to do research, I like to like look into whatever it is I'm exploring. And so sometimes now I do find it where it is more off the dome, because it's all of the information going through my head, and I'm just kind of playing with the fabric and working with it where it is and with the information I have in my head on what I'm studying. So yeah.
So do we have any sketches to show today, or is this all
Yeah,
off the dome?
I like drew some stuff like when I first got in here, because I was thinking like we would do just like a fitted dress and then this like big peplum skirt in the back, but I don't have a lot of time. I've turned this 48-hour challenge into a less than 24-hour challenge. So that's more important. So fitted stuff is going to be more complicated. So then I was thinking about gathers because I have so much fabric. And what I kind of settled on, kind of an in-between. So I'm still going to have like an overskirt with like something peeking out underneath in theory if I have time. And I'm going to just use elastics and casing to do all the gathers to get it done quickly. They're not good sketches. I did them this morning. I got 2 hours of sleep.
Can you do a little fit check?
This is an Armani top from a job I used to work at, and then wearing pants I stole from my mother, so.
Don't we love raiding our mother's closets? As a designer, how do you feel like dressing up, and if it's like important to you?
I feel like for me, comfort is important, but also I know there's a time and place to dress up. It's a feel-good thing. Also, I feel like if you like to dress up, I mean, I can't see why. You shouldn't do that every day if that makes you happy, but I definitely enjoy being comfortable.
Where do you like to shop?
Definitely all secondhand, thrift, and also like my mom's closet, my sister's closet.
Mom's closet.
But definitely thrifting.
Can we get a little fit check today?
Oh my god, it's so funny that you asked that, because I'm wearing the most cozy stuff. Like I stole this from my sister. I stole this from my roommate. This is also my sister's. This is my pajama day. Oh, I had a hoodie that I actually bought But when I was walking back to my apartment to get the satin, literally car went by, splash, and I was like, oh.
So as a designer, how important is it for you to dress up though?
I would say if you're a technologist, it's not important because like that's like cozy. You're in like you're working for like in a shop that like nobody's gonna see you. But if you're a designer, I mean, it's very Edith Head, like the designer uniform almost. But like the biggest thing that I do if I'm dressing up for a job that I'm designing is I represent what I do as a designer as opposed to like the designer's uniform.
And what is the designer's uniform, may I ask?
Edith Head always wore her little black like pencil skirt, a like nice blouse, probably like a jacket, but always these like black bug like sunglasses so that nobody could tell what she was thinking at all times, especially in fittings, which is like so cool. Because one thing about actors, if you make the wrong expression, then they start to get nervous. So she was playing mind games.
So where do you like to shop?
Thrift stores. Yes.
Can I get a little fit check with you real quick though?
So this is just a leather crop jacket. Those are really cool this season, so I've been incorporating them more. Turtleneck, obviously, I was trying to look professional for y'all. And I've really been into studying like pants, like draping, like playing around with like decorative elements, not just functional. So these pants are kind of like that. They remind me of that. I thrifted them. My trusty white sneakers, my Adidas. Yeah, and then just my jade necklace and like some jewelry I've collected over the years.
As a designer, how important is it for you to dress up?
Huge. Ever since I was younger, I think that's kind of where it started for me. I would dress up and I'd have a story, so I'd come downstairs and I'd be like, Mom, I'm an art teacher from the 70s. And she'd be like, what? But as I've grown older, I'm kind of realizing the importance of being a reflection of your brand. So I've always dressed up. I've always loved like having a style, but now I'm working on having a style that reflects who I am and what my business is. So yeah.
Where do you like to shop though as well?
Thrifting, my mom's closet. Yeah, it's kind of crazy because a lot of the things I wear are thrifted now that I'm supplementing my wardrobe. But it's just kind of through the years, like finding it places, collecting it places, things like that. So, which sounds really like cool and like really mysterious, but it's really not. I just find things that I think reflect who I am, I feel like, and I just incorporate them into what I already have. So,
can I get a little fit check from you today?
Sure, yeah, this top is my mom's from her closet. Skirt I was gifted by a friend, but it's from Goodwill. I'm wearing some tights from Target that are super comfy. I've got Tim's on and a single leg warmer because I could not find the other one.
As a designer, how important is it for you to dress up though?
I guess I wouldn't consider myself a designer yet, but I think just like in my daily life, it's really important for me to dress up just because it makes me feel better about myself. If I feel confident about the way that I'm presenting myself, normally when I don't put as much effort into my outfit is when I'm like either really stressed out or like not feeling my best that day. When I have the energy and am in a good mood, I definitely like to dress up because it's just something I'm passionate about.
Where do you like to shop at?
I really only shop at thrift stores or like get hand-me-downs. If I order stuff online, it's most of the time from eBay.
Why eBay?
eBay just has so many options, and a lot of it, like, there's a lot of free shipping, there's cheaper stuff. I feel like other apps, like maybe Depop, are more curated and people really up their prices, and like will overprice things. But yeah, eBay, I don't know, eBay's just got everything. I also buy like things that aren't related to clothes on there, so.
Alright, can we get a little fit check for today?
Today I'm wearing a pair of tapestry sweatpants I made, simple hoodie. Kept it very simple today. Wanted to be comfortable. Wanted to wear something I made, so yeah.
As a designer, do you find it important to dress up?
I find it very important. Every day I want to dress up. It makes my mood, makes me want to get out the house, everything from me.
Where do you like to shop?
The thrift store. It's the only shop at the thrift store. It's just the best way to find pieces you'll never think you'd wear.
Can I get like a fit check for today?
This is a cozy outfit, Wizard of Barge, some very, very cozy sweatpants. The docs I've had since high school, and then this is like my favorite thing as of late is this cool shirts hoodie. It's like my new go-to. My favorite thing about this, one of my favorite things about this hoodie, but the aglets, it says very cool on them. They're not like the shitty plastic aglets that you get on shoelaces. Like, it's plastic and it's like, it's engraved. I think that's so fun. I put the little patch on the pocket.
As a designer, how important is dressing up for you?
It used to be, before I was like making clothes and stuff in like a fashion designer industry context, like high school and things, it was very important. I dressed up every day. I was always modifying my own clothes. As I got into like fashion school, it drained a lot of my energy and my bandwidth. So like beginning, like freshman and some sophomore year, I was dressing up every day, eyeliner every day. Junior and senior year, I just do not have the energy or the bandwidth for it. So the only times I really dress up are when I'm going out, because I get a lot of the expression that I need from the dressing up from those specific moments when I'm going out and from like all the creative stuff that I am doing.
Where do you like to shop?
It's thrift stores. Everybody's been saying thrift stores. Rumors is fun. I like Rumors because they post their stuff online and they're like a lot more curated than just like a general thrift store like Goodwill. You can find really cool stuff there as well.
You know what I mean?
I just get stuff that's really wide, and then I go down the length of it, like.
So it's just one big piece. It's not like paneled together. Because I don't. Mine is not that wide to get the length I want. So I feel like I would have to cut like strips across the yards and sew them together. Do you think that would work?
Yeah. Suck.
Fuck you.